If you're an Etsy seller like me, you're probably wondering, with all these different Etsy product research and keyword research tools, which is the best, and is the best even worth it? In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the Everbee Etsy seller tool and give you an honest review about each of its features, including product research, keyword research, analytics, and more to see if it's worth it for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hi, my name's Sumner Hobart. My wife and I have generated 7 figures in sales of our own products on Amazon, Etsy, Walmart, and every week we create valuable, in-depth, step-by-step tutorials to help you generate more profit for your Etsy shop. And as a special bonus, once this video reaches 30 unique comments, we will randomly choose one winner from the comment section who will give free lifetime access to our top selling and top rated Etsy shop mastery course on Udemy, which I'll be linking along with everything else covered in this video in the description section below. So be sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment for your chance to win. Of course, any questions that you have, we'd be more than happy to help. So drop those in the comments as well. And without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so first things first is we're gonna need 2 tools with Everbee. So there's the Everbee web application, which you can see here on the screen, which is going to be where we spend most of our time. And there's also the free Everbee Chrome extension. Again, I'll be linking the proper links in the description section below. And what's great about Everbee is they do have a free trial. And of course, as with any other tool, highly recommend using the free trial. There's actually a lot that you can do. We'll cover all the different features here, as you can see on the left-hand side. But what the free trial does not give you access to is this optimized section, as well as the Everbee email. Currently gives you access, and hopefully it remains this way, to all the different research tools. So definitely get the free account. I'll have a special link in the description section. And if you do end up paying for the tool, finding it valuable, I'm currently trying to work with Everbee to get you a percentage off. And I'll be linking that again, like I said, with everything else in the description. So that's the 2 that we need. So go ahead, sign up for your free account just to start using it and going through the tutorial with this video. So here in the web app, starting one by one, we begin here with the dashboard. And as you can see, this is already linked to just a test kind of like dummy Etsy account that I've created. It's a real Etsy account. You can go check it out. It's called The Digital Dalmatian, but it's purely created for tutorials. So the revenue and profit is very, very low. It's a real account. All the tools are real, but it's more just for demos. So just kind of keep that in mind. Once you kind of set up your free Everbee account, it'll just simply ask you, hey, do you want to connect your current account? So make sure that when you're logged into Etsy, go to Etsy.com, log into your seller account, right, your Etsy shop, and then it's just like one click, boom, you're connected. It takes like a couple minutes and you're good to go. So really straightforward process, which I've already done that here. If you have questions, let me know in the comments, but it's very, very straightforward. Beginning here with the dashboard, this is actually very similar to what you would see in the Etsy shop statistics, right, in your dashboard as well as your Etsy stats. It's just kind of organized in a way to make it very, very easy. So nothing really great here, pretty typical, revenue, average order value, total orders, lifetime value, etc. You can check kind of over time. You see your top selling products, reviews. If you're familiar with Etsy, it's pretty typical, right? So nothing really special here, but it's kind of nice to have everything in one place so you don't have to go click around. All right, now let's get into the meat of this. Now, this, is the main reason that I use Everbee. Okay, it's what sets it apart and makes it better than eRank and all these other tools, in my opinion. So first here under Research Tool, click on Product Analytics, and this is where I spend most of my time. I love this, and this is really for product research. So what's really cool here is by default, we have Analyze by Search Term. So what's really cool is you can type in any product search term here into the search bar and find Etsy listings that contain those words either in their title or their tags or both. So for example, just here, we're gonna do leather wallet, right? Wallets are just one of many products that sell well on Etsy. So we're just gonna kind of see some different data here. So as you can see, we have all this data, right? So we have the listing here, which we can click and actually see more information. We can star this, any of these products, and it's gonna add it to the favorites list over here, which I'll cover in a second. So you can click here and you actually go to Etsy and see more detail. This is really cool. When you click this, track this listing, you can actually take this and then track its results. But what's really cool, what I like, and kind of a little hidden gem, is it'll extract all the tags that this product has. So this is mainly for tracking, but you can just get a quick view, and basically all of these right here, these bubbles, are the tags in the listing, which is really cool because you can see, okay, this is a top selling product. Here's the tags that they're using. These are keywords that are definitely important to make sure I include in my Etsy listing. So it's kind of a combination between product research and then also your own listing optimization and SEO. All right. So the product name, of course, the shop name that it comes from, product price point, estimated monthly sales, estimated monthly revenue. This is amazing data. There's a lot of Amazon product research tools that provide this data, and Everbee is the best when it comes to estimating revenue. And overall, it's fairly accurate, which is actually kind of really surprising to me. So it's not perfect. It's not 100% accurate, and sometimes it's more accurate than others, but it's a very good estimate. And I'll explain why that's important in a second, but you have total sales that's generated over the lifetime, how many reviews, the listing age. For example, you can see, okay, this is a new listing, but maybe they're, crushing it in their first month. Okay, that's something to watch out for. Kind of see how it performs. So a lot of great data. You can kind of think of different things to do with this. You can also filter the data up here. So click on filters, certain price points, monthly sales or revenue. Like a lot of times when I'm doing product research, I want a minimum of 1,000, let's say for digital products, and a minimum of, we'll just let it run, 6,000 for physical products. So monthly revenue, minimum 6,000. As you can see, the tool is automatically updating. So we're only going to see products that have at least $6,000 per month in revenue. Total sales, reviews, etc. Right? Maybe you want to find top selling products that have, poor reviews, because that's a great idea. It's like, okay, here's something that's selling really well, but the reviews aren't that great. Let me analyze the negative reviews and create a better product and sell that. Okay, that's just one of many tactics. I'm actually going to create an entire Etsy product research video like you've never seen. Step-by-step, data-oriented. Super excited to create it. So if you're looking forward to that, I'll link it once it becomes available, and you can consider subscribing for that. But staying on the Everbee route, why is this important? So let's just kind of exit out of the filters here. What I like to do, again, that monthly revenue is really, really key, is I like to see products that are doing $6,000 a month or more. Because basically, if you're going to spend all this time developing a product, selling a product, whether that's physical or digital, you want to make sure there's demand for the product. So sometimes people just kind of, I have an idea, let me go and sell that product. And it doesn't perform well because there's no data behind it. It's just like a shot in the dark. Like maybe there's a 1% chance it'll be successful, but the odds are very low because you're just guessing. Here, what I like to do, just as a little kind of tip and a little teaser for the next video, is I like to see, for example, leather wallets. Do they sell well on Etsy? For me, my actually personal criteria, I like to see 10K to 20K or more per month for most products. But if you're brand new to selling on Etsy, I look for $6,000 per month for physical products and about 1,000 or more for digital products in general. And basically what it does is if we see a lot of sellers doing, 6,000, 9,000, 10K, 20K or more, there's demand. People want this product. So for me, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of demand for leather wallets. I'm going to dive in and see if there's specific needs, which we can also use with the Everbee app, which I'll show you here in keyword research. But first, before I move there, you can go to analyze by shop name as well. So I usually use analyze by search term, but analyze by shop name, you can just type in any shop and get estimated kind of sales, revenue, all of that for products of the shop. So maybe you have your competitors and you're like, okay, enter in your competitor shop name here. Then you can see what are their top sellers and bottom sellers. Okay. And that's really valuable again, because you're like, okay, these are top selling products. How can I make better versions and bring them to the market? Because again, you're not going to copy a product that already exists and expect to make money. You need to improve upon it, read the negative reviews, look at keyword data like I'm going to show you here in a second, and that's going to help you with product research. So that's kind of the main reason. That's why I'm talking about product research here, is that's really the main function and how I really use this tool. But you may have some creative ideas. Let me know your creative ideas in the comments of what you would use this tool for. I pay for the $30 a month growth plan. That's what gives me access to everything here. And for me, as long as I get, I'm like to 10x my investments, so $300 a month in value. This alone, this product analytics, for us at our business scale and how we use the tool is more than worth it for us, but you have to analyze your business and think. So again, $30 a month is kind of the paid. I find it valuable with this alone, not to mention all the other tools here within the Everbee web app. But anyway, so that's analyzed by shop. Next, moving down, we have keyword research, which when you open looks something like this, to where you can basically search for any keyword and it's going to show you related keywords and their search volume, level of competition. This is the number of listings that appear in search on Etsy for a given keyword. The more listings that show up, the more competitive it is. The less listings that show up, better, right? So if you're doing product research, that's great. But also keep in mind, this isn't great for just product research. This is also great for your Etsy SEO or search engine optimization, keyword optimization. So, when you're creating your title, your tags, your description, and your alternative text for images, don't forget to make sure you include important keywords there. So many Etsy sellers miss that. But in all of those sections, you want to have as many unique keywords as possible. So basically all the keywords that Etsy shoppers are typing in to find your product, you want to make sure every single one of those hundreds of keywords, there's hundreds by the way, are in your listing somewhere. And the more keywords that are in your listing, the more keywords you're eligible to appear for. So that's more views, more sales, and so on. Okay, so very important for both keyword research and for product research. This is where you kind of want to go for keyword research. So here's an example. Let's type in leather, going back to our leather wallet example. We're gonna hit search and it's gonna show us all of the related keywords for the leather wallet itself, wallet, wallets, wallet gifts, etc. right? Pretty typical. Now, what I like to do is use filters and look at the search volume here. Okay, so this is monthly search volume, estimated kind of on Etsy. And you can also look at competition, right? So maybe you wanna find high volume, so at least 1,000 monthly searches or more with low competition, boom. And you can find those keywords that have high volume, low competition. But what I'm gonna do is just, what I like to start with is kind of setting different volume kind of criteria. So what I'm gonna do here is 900 to 1,000. So usually what I do is like, I kind of go, we saw like some of the top search volume was around 4,000. So I go 4,000 to 3, look at the results for product research. Anything that kind of, looks like it could be an interesting product opportunity to research further. And I write it down on a piece of paper or, spreadsheet or whatever. So then I go 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, and so on. And now I'm just going to randomly put in 1,000 to 900. All right. Organized by search volume. And as you can see here, we have, 998 monthly searches all the way down, right? And as we go down, it should automatically kind of refresh so we can kind of see up to 135 keywords. So anyway, we're going to kind of look through this. And the reason I did this is I did this a little bit earlier to make sure everything is functioning correctly, before I do a demo, because sometimes we have technical errors. What's really cool is this wallet for women. And I'm like, okay, that's really interesting. Here's a real world example. So I'm like, okay, before when I did product research, when I typed in leather wallet, almost all the wallets were for men. They're customizable, personalized, leather, gift wallets for men. It's all male wallets. So like female wallets or wallets for women. That's interesting. So what I'm gonna do is go back to product. So I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna go back to product analytics. All right, so wallet for women and watch what happens. All right, hit enter. And again, organized by search volume. Like I said, I like to see a lot of products doing between $6,000 to $10,000 or more as a kind of an entry product, especially for your beginner. That's a really great place to start because it's enough revenue to generate hundreds to even thousands of dollars a month without, requiring a ton of capital and being super competitive. So yeah, so starting around here, we have several doing anywhere from around 6K to 10K plus. And what's really cool is look at the top sellers. Okay, so the two top sellers are actually, look, from the same shop. And they're very similar, right? So it's this kind of like red leather sort of purse wallet, very, very nice. But I look at another top seller, it's more of like a purse or a bag. By the way, if I'm totally getting this wrong, let me know. Like, I'm just kind of doing what I see here. I'm a man, so forgive me if I'm not labeling these correctly, and so on. And maybe you're going through, let's say as a woman, you're like, okay, like there's a few cool options, but there's not a lot of great options or variety. So if you're going through looking at the images and you're gonna click on any of these, it's gonna open more listing details. You can click then to go to the actual listing here. So you can get a lot more in-depth kind of details here. You can see their tags here as well when you click here for more information. But anyway, as you're browsing through all these different products and you're thinking in your mind, there's not a lot of great design products, bingo, right? What I would do is I would go to Google Images. I would search for some different images for women's wallets. I would also go on Amazon to take it a step further. This is getting a little bit too in the weeds. Go on Amazon, type in women's wallets. Look at the first results that come up on Amazon. Okay, whatever those are, look at the designs of those and think, okay, those are usually whatever Amazon puts first, similar with Etsy, are the best sellers. Because think about it. If you go onto a platform, right, you type in a keyword, like, does Amazon and Etsy want to show you the lowest selling product or the highest selling product? The highest selling, because guess what that means? If a product sells really well, it's more likely to continue to sell really well. If a product doesn't sell so well, it means, hey, maybe people don't really like this product. So there's a little hack. When you go on Etsy and Amazon and you see the top products that just show up in search, when you type in, women's wallets, look at the top designs, whatever's showing up there first usually are the top sellers. So what I like to do is look at the top designs, not copy, nothing like that, and just, imitate the exact product. But I look at the designs and analyze, and let's say the top seller is a green leather wallet, but I look through here and let's just pretend like there's no green leather wallet. I'm like, bingo, I'm gonna launch a really cool green leather wallet on Etsy, because look, it's selling well on Amazon. How do I know that? Because it's like the first or one of the top, 10 search results on Amazon, and there's no option like this on Etsy, it's like, okay, that could be a really good product opportunity. Again, there's no guarantee that it's going to sell well 100%, but we know that there's demand for women's wallets on Etsy. We know that there's a design on Amazon that sells well. Let's kind of bring that, and we're using data to back our product research. So I know I kind of got in the weeds here, but I want to kind of show you a real example of how I'm using Everbee to develop products, both physical and digital products on Etsy. So there's a real world example. So I hope you find that valuable. We're going to kind of move on. And again, I'll have a full product research video later on here on the channel. So yeah, going back, keyword research. Again, you can type in any specific keyword, find related keywords. So again, it's great for, and then let's say, okay, I'm going to launch a women's wallet. We already went through the product research using this tool. Now let's actually look at all the keywords. So we want to make sure that each of these individual keywords, the word women's, wallet, wallet, looks like people are typing in wallet, maybe accidentally. It's good to have those typos, because when you put those typos, let's say in your tags or your alt text or your images, that's going to help you show up for those typos that other sellers don't. So wallet, women's, what else? Gift, gifts, personalized. If it is personalized, if it's not, you can ignore it. Leather, and so on, right? But basically you want as many individual words in your listing as possible. And you can just write these down, or you can export, as you see here. So export this. So I've pulled the keyword list here sent by Everbee to my email. And as you can see, it's a full list of all the keywords related to women's wallet on Etsy with their search volume, competition, keyword score. Oh, and by the way, keyword score is just a general score of competition to volume. So if there's a relatively high volume keyword with low number of listings that show up for that keyword, then it gets a higher score. So the keyword score is actually another great way for product research. But keep in mind, a lot of sellers are going to be doing the same thing. So I like to do things different from 99% of sellers to find the 1% products that no one else is seeing. But keyword score is great. So anyway, what we do here is I'm just going to Command C here on Mac to copy all of the keywords here. Like you can see, Everbee generated hundreds of keywords. Then I'm going to go to a tool. This is a free online tool called Trace My IP, Remove Duplicates. Again, I'll link it in the description, like I said before, and just Command V to paste all of them in here, okay, in order. And as you saw here, first what you want to do is organize from highest to lowest search volume. Why? Generally, the more search volume a keyword has, the more important it is, right? Because more volume means more people are typing it. So more volume means more sales. You can think, the higher up, generally more sales. But it depends on conversion rate, some other factors. So it gets a little bit too much into the weeds, but in general, okay, so that's highest to lowest volume, copy and paste into Trace My IP, click on original order. And there we go. We've basically removed all duplicates. And what we want to do is just go through this list, delete anything that is not, for example, if our product is not personalized, then let's get rid of, personalized, right? For example, I can copy and paste this somewhere else because it's actually not letting me, but I would just go ahead and delete. I don't know why it's not letting me do that here. Okay. Selecting it, there we go. Get rid of personalized, etc. All the irrelevant keywords, get rid of, men, this is for women, so we get rid of men's, but everything that's relevant to your product, keep it. And then at the end, you have all the keywords that you need. Put as many keywords as you can from this list, again, assuming that they're relevant to your product, meaning when someone types it into Etsy, do they want to buy your product? If you have a women's wallet, someone types in men, they're not. If your wallet is not customizable, someone types in customize, is it, relevant? No, it's not. So get rid of the irrelevant keywords. You're left with a good, solid list in order from highest to lowest volume. Then one by one, you start putting them into your title, then into your tags, then strategically within your Etsy description, and then into your alt text. Full videos on this here on the channel. We have a full Etsy playlist, so you can check that out for more detail. That's kind of the overview and a really tactical way to use the keyword research tool. Again, you can use the keyword score as a quick kind of way for product research as well. So we have leather full wallet, naturalism wallet, which is kind of interesting, etc. And I like to see, higher volume, right? Like, hundreds to thousands of monthly searches. Again, a lot of these don't really make sense, like gift full wallet. It's kind of interesting, etc. But every once in a while, 1% of the time, you're going to find some really cool hidden gems. Next, moving on to favorites. Now here in the favorites folder, these are all generated from your product analytics tab. So remember, if there's anything that kind of caught your eye, maybe you want to identify kind of the top 10 products for different niches. So like the top 10 selling women's wallets, men's wallets, cat mugs, whatever it might be, funny t-shirts. You can go ahead and actually, favorite here. So we can go ahead and add to our favorites. Then we're going to go back to favorites, and then they'll appear here We can create our own folders. So you can create a new folder, right? So it's like, cat t-shirts, mom mugs, whatever it might be, and create different folders just in case you want to go back for quick reference for this. I don't use it as much personally, just with my personal workflow, but just another tool that you can use, which is kind of nice depending on your business. So that's in the favorites, really simple, just to organize some, products of interest. Then moving to listings. Again, this is somewhat similar to what you can find in your Etsy shop statistics dashboard. However, I like the way that they organize this. They kind of pull this data from your Etsy shop and put it and aggregate it in a better way. Because on Etsy, it's a little bit clunky. So here I actually like the way that they do this, but keep in mind, you can find pretty much all this information on your Etsy shop. So not really necessarily worth paying for, but it's a nice add-on along with everything else. They kind of add on a lot of nice things together. But again, for me, the product analytics and the keyword research are two of the biggest reasons that I use this tool over any other tool, especially product analytics. No other tool does that, not eRank, no one else, at least at the moment. So yeah, with your listings, it just shows you total sales, views, reviews, favorites, all of that. It shows you your top sellers here. You can change the date range and all of that. So pretty straightforward. Nice to kind of monitor your listings, see how they're performing kind of over time and if they're dropping. Next, moving on to Etsy Calculator, a nice little tool again. But we also have the free Etsy product margin tool that does the exact same thing. And this one's totally free, so you don't have to sign, you don't have to pay for anything. I'll have a link to this where you get the Etsy product margin calculator and the Etsy monthly profit calculator, all this for free. Link will be in the description, which is just kind of funny. But yeah, Everbee also provides this where basically you enter in your sale price. Let's say it's $25, shipping price, say it's 0, discounts. Let's say we have a 10% discount, cost the item. I'm totally making this up, $4. Shipping cost for the order, let's say 2. We rerun Etsy ads, and let's say it makes up 14% of our sale price, right? 14% ACoS, advertising cost of sale. And then we calculate. And the purpose of this is, well, number one, you should make sure that your own products are profitable, of course, to know your exact Etsy profit margin. But also, this is great, again, for product development of, hey, there's a top selling product, but guess what? If I were going to sell this product, maybe I'm not going to be profitable. And in general, what I recommend is at the end of this, if you're realistic about all of your costs, but this does not include business expenses where our free Etsy product margin does, as you can see here, other fees or expenses. You want the end, we actually have a little grade here. So if you highlight over this cell, it shows you, in our general opinion for an Etsy shop, terrible, poor, good, and great here at the bottom to know if you're in the right range. But in general, after everything's said and done, your Etsy shop should be generating between 15 to 25% net margin. That means after everything. So that's after production, shipping costs, Etsy fees, over discounts, promotions, refunds, advertising, business expenses, software, if you have team members. Think about revenue minus all the expenses and what's left over. For a healthy Etsy account, should it be somewhere between 15 and 25%, although this can totally depend. Some can be much higher, especially for digital products. Others, if it works for you, can be as low as 10% or even lower. But for a healthy account, 15 to 25% is a really good range. So you want to kind of see that. So in this case, in this random example, we have 48%, not including some other fees like business expenses, things like that. In this case, this could be a very good product to launch. So that's kind of the purpose of the Etsy profit calculator. And nice little helpful tool. Then moving on to the optimize section here. Again, this is only available if you have the growth plan like I do, which is $30 per month. Or if you get the annual, I believe it's about $15 or $16 a month, just for reference. We just pay monthly because at any point, if we don't really need to use the tool, we're going to cancel and then reapply once we need it again. So that's kind of how we do it. Even though we do fairly well with our businesses, it's very, very important to always be attentive to costs as well. Just like we're the same. So. All right, so moving on to listing rank tracker. In this section, you can track your own products or any product on Etsy. And how it works is really simple. So you click on add a new product. So you have the product ID or link. So I just go to Etsy, open up the product, copy and paste the link in here. And then what I recommend doing is just entering in your own custom keywords. So what keywords do you want to track ranking for? And again, if you're not already familiar, ranking is simply how high on the page are you, right? So for example, if your ranking is number 1, that means when someone types in X keyword on Etsy, you're the first listing that shows up. If you're 79, that means there are 78 listings ahead of you. And ideally when on Etsy, ideally you want to be number 1, but especially within the top 10 should be your goal for your most important keywords. At the least, between the top 50, but higher up is obviously better. So that's kind of, something to look out for and some general metrics. So as you can see, I've already added one product here, which you can always go and edit, as well as look at the details. So we're just gonna click to look at the details. And here's what we see. So we have keyword, and I can expand this out a bit more so you can see it. Search volume for that keyword. So again, that's average estimated monthly searches on Etsy. So we can go highest to low. Level of competition. So here's the number. So for example, we have the word template. There are over 4 million listings on Etsy that in their title, their tags, their description, somewhere on their listing, they have the word template, right? That's 4 million. Keyword score, of course, 0. Why? Because that's extremely competitive. Now, here's the thing I don't like about Everbee. And actually, there's one other thing that I'll cover in a second. But I added this product a few hours ago in preparation, and it still hasn't updated the organic rank, right? So it takes hours and hours for this specific metric to update. Not a big deal. It's not a huge problem. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. It should just take, 14 minutes or so, or 3 minutes or instantly, but it takes some time. And then you can also see the trend here once it shows up, but for whatever reason, it's taking a very long time. So it's kind of a pain point I have here. But basically you can see, okay, for this product, right? For the word, let's scroll down to like bookkeeping, right? There's an estimated search volume, 497 searches per month, about 4,000 competing products, right? Keyword score, not really. And then organic rank, like what are we? Are we number 1 on the page? Are we 79? Again, ideally we want to be in the top 10 for our most important keywords. So how do I use this tool? It's kind of cool or fun. Like, oh, that's kind of cool to see where my listing is. You can track competitors and see where they are. But you may be thinking, okay, Sumner, what's the point of that? Just something I asked myself. And the point is, so a couple things. It's SEO. Well, it's actually keyword optimization for SEO, and then traffic. So if you see a keyword here, let's say, this is an Etsy bookkeeping spreadsheet for Etsy sellers for their bookkeeping. And then we have the word, let's go down. An important keyword would be Etsy bookkeeping, 100%. This might be the most important. Even though it's lower search volume, very, very important because that's our target audience. So we want to make sure we're ranking ideally like top 4, right? Within those first 4 positions, right there at the top line. So if I see like I'm on, let's say organic rank of 70 over here in this column, then it might mean, let me go back in my listing. And step 1 is, do I have the word Etsy bookkeeping in that order somewhere in my listing? On my title, my tags, my description, especially somewhere in there. If not, huge win, easy win. Go in, edit your title, tags, or description. It could just be one of those sections. Add Etsy bookkeeping and then update, and you should see your keyword ranking potentially increase just from doing that. Because before, you might have had the word bookkeeping and Etsy separate in your listing, but putting it together, Etsy bookkeeping, with a space in between, that's gonna help you rank for that keyword. So that's kind of number 1. If there's look through anything that's important to your product that you're not ranking well for, check your keyword optimization. That's step 1. And that's going to help you so much. Honestly, there's going to be listings that you have right now. If you have several listings on Etsy, I can guarantee they're not all fully optimized. This is going to be a really quick, easy way. Now, number 2, let's say, okay, Sumner, I check my listing. I have the word Etsy bookkeeping in my listing. I know it's important. What do I do? Then the only other step from that is if you have this product and you want to increase ranking, one of the best ways to do that is with advertising and marketing, especially Etsy ads. So for all of your top selling products, 100%, if you're not already, you need to be running Etsy ads. I have a full video showing you. There was a student in our course, they got 16 times more sales and dramatically increased profitability as well. These are profitable sales. 16 times more sales by running Etsy ads than not using the step-by-step free tutorial that I have here on our YouTube channel. It's massive. Okay, so Etsy ads basically help you to get seen on Etsy, which gives you more sales. They can actually help potentially increase your keyword ranking as well. So running Etsy ads, if you're not already, it's huge. What I would do is if you have a big product catalog, look at the top, if you have a really big, let's say you sell hundreds of products on Etsy, okay, that's huge. If you sell like 10, right, it's gonna be a little bit different. But choose between 5% to 20% of your top selling listings and advertise them on Etsy with the Etsy ads tutorial that we have here on YouTube. It's totally free, very, very simple and easy to set up. And that's going to dramatically change your business. I can nearly guarantee you, as long as you follow the process. But really, really powerful. Aside from that, some other really powerful marketing. Basically, when you drive traffic outside of Etsy to Etsy, that can help you organically rank, okay, for a lot of different keywords. So Google search ads is another great way to send traffic. You create a Google ad, someone sees your Google ad, click, it takes them to your Etsy listing, and then they purchase. That can really help you on Etsy for SEO. Number 2 is influencer marketing. Give your product away for free and potentially even pay, depending on the size of the influencer. But you can choose micro influencers with less than 10,000 followers on Instagram, give them your product for free in return for a shout out, or maybe also a little bit of cash, and drive traffic to your Etsy listing, and that can help you as well. So influencer marketing, Google ads, Etsy ads, and then also email marketing, which we'll cover here in a second, are 4 of the best ways to drive traffic. Also, Pinterest is another great one. So that's number 5. Pinterest ads and organic Pinterest content is powerful. Again, that gets a little bit more complicated. Don't get worried about it. It's just those 2 things, the advertising and marketing, and then your keyword optimization are the 2 best ways, aside from the product itself, to increase in rank, get more organic sales here. So that's kind of how I go about using this. Although honestly, I don't use it as much. I'm much more about launching more and more products on Etsy. If anything seems to do well, has a high conversion rate, boom. I'm going to advertise that product. I'm going to push that product with external advertising, and I'm going to ignore the ranking. I'm just going to, look at money I'm spending on advertising and marketing, profit that I'm making. And if I can get profitable within 60 days, I keep it going. And if not, then, I turn it off and move on to the next product, if that makes sense. Again, more videos about this. I'm going a little bit too much in the weeds here. So that's how I use the rank tracker here. Again, it's still, let's check if we hit refresh. That should update here. So let's go ahead and look again, see if it updated. No, it says it takes a few minutes and it's been a few hours. So again, a little bit painful, but within probably several hours from now, I check back in, it'll be updated. Just kind of keep that in mind. All right. So again, tracking your own product and competitors. Here's another pain point that I have with Everbee, okay, is this trademark monitor. Basically, the purpose of this tool is to warn you, hey, you have a trademark term in your listing, which could get your shop shut down, which is actually happening a lot recently as of the making of this video. So really good idea, but in terms of practicality, it's absolute trash. It's a worthless feature of Everbee. Everbee employees, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but that's my honest review. Because I've used Trademark Monitor for a lot of different like Etsy shops. And basically every single listing that we sell on Etsy, according to Everbee, has trademark infringement. What that means is Everbee will search for trademark terms, apparently, and then warn you, hey, you have a trademark term in your listing. And basically a trademark term is simply a term that a entity, an organization, has filed as a trademark with, in this case, the US government. And there's also in the United Kingdom and China and other countries as well, many countries, but specifically the United States government, to where it's like, hey, only we are allowed to use this in our business. If anyone else is, we can take legal action against them, okay? In most cases, all it means is your listing's gonna get shut down or maybe even your account. But as you can see here, so we have 10 listings scanned. All right, how many listings do we have alerts for? All 10. There are 69 keywords with trademarks. Let's look at the keywords with trademarks. So keyword ABC we have ABC in one of our listings, and apparently that's a trademark term, which is not true. I think there's like ABC News or ABC whatever, but ABC itself is a generic term. It's not trademarked. Monogram, that's a generic term that is not a trademark term. And if you ever want to know if a term is trademarked or not, instead of using Everbee, again, it's a great idea. I hope this changes and improves in the future. But basically it's just telling me, number one, okay, Excel, yes, that is a trademark term. I have not seen an issue using that in my listings. Best is not trademarked. It's at a road trip. These are generic terms, like Apple. Or no, actually, that's not a good example, but Apple is both trademarked and generic, but Pear, right? Or telephone, like those aren't trademarked. But if you want to know if a term is trademarked, go to trademarkia.com and you can search. So any word that is spelt similar or sounds similar to an existing trademark term, the owner of that trademark can take legal action against you, which more in reality is just getting your listing shut down, okay? So there's something to be kind of aware of, not something to freak out about, but just be wary of the keywords that you get from your keyword list that you're optimizing your listing with. If it's like a name brand, like for example, Disney, Harry Potter, those are really common examples, Barbie, do not use those, especially in your title. There's kind of debate on using them in your tags that can actually help you rank and show up for certain words. But in general, I'd recommend just staying away from those. Harley Davidson, Coca-Cola, those are examples, right? Name brands, okay, Nike and Adidas, all those type of terms, those are what you want to avoid. But these like Best, Trip, Google would be another one, but Google has tools. So that's why Google or Canva or some of those other words can be used. I haven't experienced an issue, but just something to kind of be aware of. Okay, so that's enough about the trademark monitor. And now moving on to probably my second favorite thing about Everbee is Everbee email. Okay, again, only available with a growth plan. And basically now I've turned these off, but what Everbee does, which is honestly really cool, and I actually looked through these emails and they're not bad overall, although as an email marketer, I've definitely changed some things, getting a little bit more advanced. But to keep things simple, Email marketing is one of the highest ROAS and most profitable forms of marketing historically. If you look over the past 10 years of e-commerce, it's one of the best. Influencer marketing, email marketing, really any marketing done well can be very successful when you have a great product, but email marketing is great. So what Everbee does is they actually integrate with Etsy, and they've created, as we can see, 8 different emails. So we have order campaigns and subscriber campaigns. So anyone who subscribes to us get these campaigns automatically. Anyone who orders from us gets these campaigns automatically, a total of 8, okay? And as we can click to actually read the email and edit it. So for example, when we turn this on, Everbee's automatically going to say, send this email to anyone who ordered. The subject's going to say order confirmation. Thank you for choosing, our shop. So let's say Digital Dalmatian or Sumner Brands. So hi, we're thrilled to confirm your recent order with Digital Dalmatian. Thank you for allowing the opportunity to bring a bit of our craftsmanship into your life. Your order information is below. It's now being prepared and will be delivered as soon as possible. Subscribe for exclusive offers. Then they get the opportunity to subscribe or you can say subscribe for 10% off. Okay, it's like, oh, great. So then people have the option of subscribing, all integrated with Etsy that's automatically sent out with every order. And you can edit, if we click here, and edit all the information here. If you want to make it more personalized, craftsmanship, maybe it's like, oh, I sell digital products. Craftsmanship doesn't make as much sense, or it's not handmade. So, you might change the wording a bit. You can change anything here. So it's really powerful. But what they've done is a really good base overall for very general kind of templates. Let me go ahead and leave here and go back to, but basically, yeah, you can click in here. There's order confirmation, shipping, delivery. And basically, when you turn these on, okay, I can go ahead and turn all these on. When you have all these turned on, you are going to generate more profit than if they were turned off, because this is more touch points with your customers. Okay. So this is kind of, providing better customer service. Hey, your order just got delivered. I want to make sure everything's okay. If there's any issues, reach out to us at this email or message us on Etsy and we'll take care of it. So that reduces the number of negative reviews. People feel taken care of. Hey, we just shipped your order. It's being prepared now. Just want to let you know. So thankful that you chose our small family business. I'm wishing you all the best. Right? If I get an email from, someone on Etsy, I'm like, wow, I have more connection with them. Think about it. Am I more likely to buy from them? Am I more likely to remember them? Am I more likely to refer a friend to them? 100%. So basically, turning these on, you make more money. Turning them off, you make less money. Not a huge deal, but obviously I want to optimize every element. And there's some email marketers I know that for every subscriber that they get, so everyone who clicks subscribe and enters the subscriber campaigns here, for every subscriber they have, they make $1 per month. So you get 1,000 subscribers, an extra $1,000 a month. 10,000 subscribers, $10,000 a month can be really powerful when done correctly. But keep in mind, so within the growth plan, which is $30 a month, you have access to this, but it's only up to 500 subscribers. So once you get over 500, then you have to start paying. And I believe, I'll have to put the pricing somewhere here on the screen. Was it $10 a month per 1,000 subscribers? Something like that, which honestly is very affordable. You can just test and say, okay, so you can literally see revenue here. So if I'm paying $10 a month, am I making, $30, $40, $50, $100 or more in revenue? Could be really worth it. And you can turn these on, have them run for like 60 days is what I'd recommend for a good, decent period. Look back, I spent $20, let's say, on Everbee, and then I made, $200 or $1,000 even or whatever. Boom, then or I spent $20, I made $0. Then whether it's worth it to you or not, but it's another way to immediately increase. So you sync your shop, you turn this on. If you're not already running email marketing, this can really boost. So again, the Everbee email, which is better than the other email kind of Etsy sequences that I've seen, as well as the product research, those two things alone, beyond worth it to me. And when it comes to the Everbee Chrome extension, how it works is really simple. So you plug it in, sign up. Once you sign up, which is free to use, you'll see kind of the same tools that we just covered here on the left-hand side of your Etsy account. Just you can be signed out. Doesn't matter as long as you have a Google Chrome extension with this installed. You'll see this when you log into Etsy, which will take you to the web app exactly like I showed you. Also, whenever you click on any given product, let's say this product here, this kitty cat black ceramic mug, we open it here and give it a second to load, we will see the Everbee, again, data here and here, so we can analyze the listing. So we click Analyze Listing. So it's kind of like two ways. You can go from Etsy onto the web app. You can go from the web app onto Etsy. Just a way of linking the two products basically is all it is. But like I said, I usually spend most of the time in the web app. This can be really helpful if you're scrolling through Etsy to kind of do product research, competitor analysis, all of that really helpful as well. And I hope you found this Everbee tutorial valuable. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel for a chance to win our top-rated Etsy Shop Masterclass on Udemy, again, which will be linked in the description section below, which we'll be announcing on our Facebook group and Instagram. So be sure to follow us there. And as always, thanks so much for watching and your support. God bless you and your business, and look forward to seeing you in the next one.